LeBron James said something interesting last night after the Lakers lost to the Wizards in overtime. He said he doesn't buy into the, quote, narrative that he needs to need more rest. He has played in every game. He played 43 minutes last night, continuing a trend that we've seen lately with L.A. trying to adjust without Anthony Davis. Since the start of February, LeBron has averaged over 38 minutes a game. That's the most in the NBA during that span at age 36. LeBron, more than anybody else, is aware of how these narratives work. Once they get started, then they take on a life of their own. Because it's LeBron, it's the Lakers, and if you want clicks, that's what you do. You talk about LeBron, the minutes, and the team has now lost 3 in a row. The Lakers are struggling, and nobody wants to talk about how the season has ebbs and flow because it does. Every year, teams will dip for a little while, and then all of a sudden they come back. But, the other NBA narratives don't get anywhere near the attention. Is anybody talking about the Utah Jazz today? Except for us? No. Locally in Utah? Yes. They are the best three-point shooting team. They have the most three-pointers. They're on a record pace. They are undefeated at home. They got the best record in the NBA. Nobody talking about the Utah Jazz. You're talking about the Celtics and the mess that they are right now. The Miami Heat, are they going to make the playoffs? Is Joel Embiid the MVP? We don't talk, when you talk about the NBA, you talk about LeBron. You talk about the Lakers. And that's why this is a bigger deal, whether it is or not. But LeBron knows his body. LeBron is one of the first athletes who invested $1 million in his body. This isn't the 80s where guys took the summer off and didn't do anything and probably drank beer and smoked heaters. LeBron is one of the best conditioned athletes we've ever had. And he's got a team around him to get him ready. But does he play more minutes than you would like? Yes. Would I like him to play less minutes? Yes. But the more he plays, he's in great shape. He wants to play. We get caught up in, you got to have load management. All right. Kawhi Leonard, one of the great athletes in the world, and he's got to have load management. Why? Well, because he said so. I got this injury here and load management. Okay. Imagine if we all did that in our daily lives. We had to have load management. Go into your boss and say that. Certainly could use Wednesday off, a little load management here. Yeah, good luck with that. You know what? While you're at it, take Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. You know what? Just take the rest of your life off here. And these back-to-backs coming into work. But we created this load management nonsense. And LeBron's going the other way. But LeBron wants to say to everybody, those guys need load management. I don't. Kawhi's a lot younger than me. I don't need that. Greek Freak, got to limit his minutes. Don't have to do that with me. LeBron wants you to know that he is going to be there. You got somebody who is actually going to be there. If you buy a ticket or you're going to watch a game, LeBron's going to be there. How refreshing. It's novel. He wants to play. We're going to critique him because he wants to play. And the narrative here, first of all, can we get rid of narrative? Narrative and optics, can we get rid of those? And I'm guilty of it, but the narrative here, here is LeBron James on the narrative that he should be resting.
This whole narrative of, LeBron needs more rest, or I should take time here, it's become a lot bigger than what it actually really is. I've never talked about it. I don't talk about it. I don't believe in it. We all need more rest. This is a fast turnaround from last season, and we all wish we could have more rest. But, I'm here to work, and I'm here to punch my clock in, and me being able to be available to my teammates is more important than anything.
Okay, he knows his body. And good for him. He wants to play. Yes, McLovin.
I was actually going to pitch a poll question. Should the Lakers force him to sit down? I know that's contrary to what you just said. But, 80, I don't know how long the schedule is.
Who is going to force him to sit down?
The coach.
Really? Really?
Are you suggesting a new paradigm where LeBron is the? I threw in paradigm instead of narrative, by the way.
That's okay. We can start with paradigm, and then we'll get tired of it.
But I was going to say that as a poll question. If you were the Lakers, would you ask LeBron maybe take a rest here or there?
I'm sure they have conversations about this. I would hope they have conversations where they just sit around and say, hey, how do you feel? And if you want to limit your minutes, okay, here's case in point. The other night, the Clippers were playing, and Paul George is on a minutes restriction. Very, very specific minutes restriction. So less than 3 minutes to go in a game they could have won, they pull Paul George out. As if those 3 minutes somehow, somewhere, are going to benefit the Clippers down the road. When we go, in late May, when we go, remember when Paul George took those 3 minutes off? He looks a whole lot fresher now. It's silly. It just, you're meant to play. You want to play. I don't want you to play when you're hurt. If it's a meaningless game or you're getting blown out or you're blowing somebody out, then I understand that. Yes, Eden.
I don't know. He strikes me as the kind of guy who might like to be load managed. Yeah, give me an extra 5 minutes off here. I'm good.
Who, LeBron?
Or no, Paul George.
Well, I give him credit. He's played better this year. He's on a mission.
I can't play all these minutes. What are you, crazy?
Yes, Paulie.
It's like when you have a 3-year lease on a car at 12,000 miles a year and you realize about 2.5 years in that you're about to go over and you're driving down the road, you're like, every mile I go is 25 cents. And you're just freaking out. And you're like, I'm going to walk to work today. It's only a mile. That's kind of what the NBA is.
I'm going to get a bike. Yes, McLevin.
The problem with Paul George's load management strategy, he wants to load manage at the middle of June, so.
Oh, I see what you did. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like seeing
right.
He got me so frustrated last year.
Little shot there. All right, little shot there.
I think the average NBA fan is still mad at Paul George for how he played last year in the playoffs. I know that sounds weird, like that would be mad at him.
No. Clippers fans, NBA fans don't care about Paul George. They care if players load manage and hey, I can't play back-to-back or, these are the most conditioned athletes that we have in the world. And they can't go back-to-back. And, that's what fans care about, I would think. It's refreshing LeBron wants to play. He's always wanted to play. Then he misses a free throw last night or he came up short on a jumper, and then you hear, he's getting tired. He might be. But he has to play. In his mind, Anthony Davis isn't there. This is what I would love to hear. Some of the other Laker players go, maybe we should step up a little bit here. How about the depth on this team? How about those guys step up a little bit? That would be really beneficial to LeBron. Yeah, Paul.
There's been 3 players in NBA history to play more than 60,000 career minutes. LeBron James just went over 60,000 career minutes for post-game, postseason and regular season. Do you want to know the other 2?
Yes, I do.
I think you'll know them, unless you want to guess. One you'll know for sure.
I was going to, 60,000. I was going to guess just for longevity, Kareem.
Correct. He's the all-time leader at 66,000 plus minutes. The second one you'll go, oh yeah.
Karl Malone.
That's right. 62,007. LeBron's going to pass both those guys in the next year and a half. And LeBron's going to do it in 18 years. Kobe had less minutes in 20 years. He's got LeBron has 20,000 career minutes more than Michael Jordan as of right now.
I was waiting for Jordan to somehow
It's mandatory.
Be involved. Yeah, anytime you bring up LeBron, you got to bring up Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Michael never had load management. Yeah, Yes, McLevin. What?
It's funny that it feels like Jordan and LeBron approached that 82 games the same way. Like Jordan, I could have sat, and he never did, right? It's like they don't want to come off almost.
But yeah, it wasn't a concept back then.
Oh, so no one. Well, yeah, but I remember when I was a kid, Dr. J would have the end of season flu and skip 3 or 4 games at the end of the year. He's a little older.
Well, yeah, and he had bad knees.
Yeah,
but I don't. These guys want to play. I'm thankful when guys want. Like Steph Curry is playing against the Knicks tonight, or at least I hope he is, because there's no other reason to watch that game. We want to see the stars play. Now, James Harden, to me, took on too much of Houston's offense. and he would always get tired in the postseason. He needed somebody to say, I got to limit your minutes here. But he wanted to lead the NBA in scoring. Like he had, individual goals, and maybe they got in the way of team goals there. But he always seemed like he ran out of gas in the postseason. LeBron doesn't appear to run out of gas. Like, when's the last time where you go, man, he looks really slow. He looks lethargic. He wants to play. Now, do I want him to play that many minutes? No. I'd prefer he didn't during a February stretch. But he needs to play, wants to play. And look, I applaud him. An athlete who wants to play every single game. I mean, when we were growing up, and it's a different era, but these guys took great pride in playing in all 82 games. Like a healthy scratch? We didn't even know what that we'd be like, what? What's wrong? Wait, what's he got, an itch? It's a healthy scratch. Oh, well, get some lotion. But this started with the Spurs. This is Greg Popovich. He's the one who said, hey, we're going to Miami, but I'm going to leave my star players behind. And all of a sudden we're like, what? But he said, I got to rest my players. And they got fined, commissioner. But Pop succeeded in what he wanted to do. But that was where he was saying, Tim Duncan at age 35, he's not making that road trip there. Going to give him a little time off. I don't like it, but I understand it. You're trying to win. These teams that are trying to win a championship. Yeah, Paul.
Not only did Michael Jordan play 82 games every year of his career, he never left a game at any time during any game. He played 48 minutes a game.
He did.
Yep, just checked. Actually, he played 82 games every season he was healthy. Just a couple of years where he had the broken foot or baseball, and then there was another season where he had a knee injury.
I don't care about Jordan.
Yeah, you do.
Wilt Chamberlain would play just about every minute of every game. He never fouled out of a game in his career.
You say generally he never fouled out?
I think
specifically?
I think a season that Wilt averaged over 48 minutes per game.
That's like averaging a grade point average of 4.1.
Yes.
When it's only 4.
Yes.
Yeah. In his third year in the league, 61-62, Wilt played every game and averaged 48 and a half minutes a game, even though the games were 48 minutes long. I'm guessing a couple overtimes.
Yeah.